We are making my Auntie Bobby's potato kugel today from my cookbook Eat Jewish. My aunt would always make 2 kugels. She would make one to eat on Shabbos and one to eat before Shabbos, so everyone who came into the house could pick at it, which I think is really smart because when you see a fresh potato kugel, you are going to dig into it, no question. You can either double the recipe, but that is an insane amount of potatoes and eggs, or you can just make one recipe and split it into different pans. Because this recipe calls for an entire 5-pound bag of potatoes and 9 eggs. You're gonna preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is a really interesting step. You're gonna take a 1/4 cup of the oil and pour it into your pan or pans and put that right into the oven. You're heating up the oil in the pan, so when you pour in the potato kugel batter later, it immediately starts getting crispy around the edges. If you're curious about this pan right here, it's lined with parchment paper. I'm testing it out for a brand. All right, we've got 9 eggs, a bag of potatoes, some onions. It's 1 large onion. I'm using 2 because these ones aren't too large. Avocado oil, you can use any neutral oil for this, salt and pepper. Please make sure you wash your potatoes very well. You can peel them. With Yukons, you can also leave the skin on. The skin is very soft. With russets, you want to peel them. And now the fun part of shredding up all the potatoes and onions. You can do this by hand, but you know what? It is a lot of potatoes. If you don't have a huge food processor, you might have to do this in a couple stages, but mine all fits in one batch. Now this recipe makes more of a shredded potato kugel, but if you like yours a little mushier, you can put some of this right back in with the S-blade. So you're gonna take some of that, put it back in and blend it up. There is one food processor that has something called a Kugel blade on it, but that's not something everybody has. And I really wanted to make sure that my cookbook was accessible for everyone. See how I blended up some of the potato? I'm just gonna put that right back in. Now you're gonna add the remaining oil, a heaping tablespoon of salt, and a teaspoon of black pepper. Now give this a really good mix and make sure all that salt and pepper is combined. By the way, in the cookbook, I actually add the salt, pepper, and oil right to the eggs at the beginning so you can whisk it all and make sure everything is evenly combined. I did it this way now. It works too. This looks absolutely perfect. I took out the pans. These have been preheating in the oven with oil in them. Please be careful because these are very hot. You can use a measuring cup to transfer the potato kugel right into the pans. See how that oil is sizzling already? I learned this tip from my sister. Sprinkle a little more salt right on top of the kugel before you bake it. Now you're gonna bake this at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, then lower the temperature to 350 and bake for 1 more hour. And if after that hour it's still not brown enough for your liking, just keep baking it for a little bit. Trust me, you're not gonna dry out a potato kugel so quick. The potato kugels are out of the oven. They look perfect. If I touch them right now, I would burn my mouth. So we're gonna wait just a little bit before I could take a bite. It is so brown and crispy around the edges, and it's gonna be really creamy in the center. You gotta make this.